make a living from walking in the woods, you can bet I'd be sitting pretty good high on a hill, looking at a field downwind. If I can make a nickel off of turning in bass, never worry about the price of gas, I've been wheeling and dealing and sitting there reeling them in. Hunting, fishing, loving every day, that's the prayer that a country boy prays. Thank God he made me this way. Hunting and fishing and loving every day. Early in the morning, late in the evening, I'm getting red dirt rich and Flint River paid. Hunting, fishing, and loving every day. I'd get a little farm pond buzz, sound of gravel when I'm backing up, pulling a string on a 9.9 two-stroke.
All right, guys, we apologize for the delay tonight. The weather's been kind of crazy, but we are here, Basscast Radio. I'd like to welcome everyone. What's going on, Bruce?
Nothing much. Just sitting relaxing after some fine fishing and some nice windy conditions.
Yeah. I don't know which is worse. I know the rain is awful and the wind is awful. It's just crazy. I mean, the cold fronts that we've had come through the last couple of days, and then the wind we got from the hurricane, Matthew.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know we've got over 3 inches of rain here. I know the one of the ponds I go to, the spillway was just, like a raging torrent of water coming through it. It was just crazy.
Yeah, I am so, I don't know, it's just crazy. We need to dry out, because it's been crazy. It's just, we went up to Lake Anna today for the Basscast Tournament Trail, and I saw yards that you could actually, there was enough water in the little low areas that you could probably take a bath in.
I bet it was fish in it.
I know. Someone said if it keeps raining, the fish going to end up on the banks, but hopefully not.
Well, anywhere that's new, fresh territory, they're going to go.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, it's been a heck of a weekend.
Oh, it has, and with all that fresh rain and washing all the nutrients into the ponds and lakes and all and rivers, the bass are just holding up where it's coming through at and just feeding up on it.
Looking for them river.
That's what mine were today.
Were you catching them towards where the towards the creeks or the creek feeders, or were you? How were they?
I was actually at the spillway at the dam, catching them because all the nutrients were washing down that way.
Right.
And they were just sitting there waiting on it.
Wow.
Well, it was crazy. The last time we had a big rain like this, same thing. I sat there at the spillway, casting out and bringing the lipless crankbait back in there, and they were just killing it. I mean, like a freight train hitting it. And they weren't even the huge ones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's nothing like one that's killing it like that. You know that yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, I got a big one. It turns out to be a 2-pounder.
Oh. Well, I know it's been a busy weekend for everybody. Priority Automotive wrapped up their classic this weekend. On the James River, we had Bass Quest on Smith Mountain Lake. They wrapped up their classic. We had the Virginia Bass Kayak Tournament Trail that me and my friend Casey started. Thank you, Casey, for a great job. That wrapped up this weekend. So, and then we had our Basscast Stop number 2 Fall Tournament Trail today on Lake Anna. So we have been I don't know. It's been
There
crazy.
was a lot going on this weekend.
Yes, it was. If you wanted something to fish, it was there. So, yes, it was a ton going on. We want to thank the guys from Cloverdale Painting. Thank them for Cloverdale Custom Painting for sponsoring the Basscast Radio. If you need your home, your house, your business, whatever you need, apartment, it don't matter. Give them a call at 540-556-2982. That's Cloverdale Custom Painting. Also want to thank John Cruz for sponsoring our contest that we have going on this month. Let's tell everybody about that early in the show. So for those who might want to exit out early, they're going to hear about it. We've got an Instagram contest going on. Last month we did Facebook. This month we're doing Instagram. You win 3 packs of John Cruz baits and a missile bait sticker. What we need you to do is tag us on one of your pictures of big fish. It doesn't matter what you catch it, where you catch it, what you catch it on. It doesn't matter, right, Bruce? Just tag the Basscast in it.
That's right. Doesn't matter how big either.
No matter how big it is either. I mean, like I said, we just want some pictures of fish up on our Instagram page, and we would like to have more people joining our Instagram page. And we already have a lot joined, but we'd love to have some more. And, you know, we share it. Hashtag the Basscast on that. So go like us on...
And hashtag missile bait.
Yep, and make sure you hashtag missile baits in it as well. So, and hashtag the Basscast, and I believe it's hashtag. Now I've seen them have 2 different missile baits. You got the missile _ baits, and then they got a regular missile baits. But either way, hashtag them in and tell them thank you for sponsoring Basscast Radio and all they do for us. We're giving away missile baits Shockwave 4.25. So you get 3 bags of those for free. That's $15 in baits. I mean, it's average pack of baits $5 now, guys. So I mean, you get them free.
Oh, and it depends on what you get.
Yeah, the Cincos, my Cincos have gone. Gary Yakamoto have gone to almost $8 a pack. So I mean, you're correct, Bruce. It all depends on what you get.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting crazy on soft plastics.
Yeah, it's getting real crazy. It's going to be one of them things. I was a big baseball card collector back in the day, and you know, you had the 3 major brands, Topps, Donruss, and Fleer back when I was a little kid, and probably Bruce just remembers Topps. And before you knew it, the market was flooded, and pretty much everything just went to crap. And that's what's starting to happen right now. It's starting to flood, and everybody thinks everything else. Hey, I'm not knocking your product. If it's great, it's great, you know. But man, there is so much out there. I mean, everybody's making a jig. Everybody's making a plastic. Ain't everybody making some nice looking crankbaits? And there are some good looking crankbaits people are making and painting by hand. I mean, you pay a little bit more for them, but they are some amazing looking crankbaits. But
oh yeah,
the market is getting flooded. I mean, it's crazy. Guys, we want to talk to you.
I know.
We want to tell you what we got going on tonight.
And the knockoffs are out of this world.
Yes, they are. Go figure that would happen. Tonight we have Captain Dale Wilson on. We have Tim Harmon with the Quest Tournament. He's going to talk about his big tournament event that he has coming up down in South Carolina. And we have Chase Tanner. He's going to be talking about the Barbie River Rumble. So we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Mr. Dale Wilson.
Used to spend my nights out in ballroom. Liquor was the only love I'd known. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back, being too far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. Same old places, found the bottom of the bottle's always dry. But when you poured out your heart, I didn't waste it, 'cause there's nothing like your love to get me high. Whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. And honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time.
All right, guys, we are back with Mr. Captain Dale Wilson. What's been going on, buddy? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, Brian. Fishing's been pretty good. The bass fishing's been up and down with all these fronts, and we had quite a bit of rain with that one storm. It looks like we're going to get some more rain coming up in the next couple of days. The water's starting to cool off. The bait started to make a move upstream and back in the coves, and look for the fishing to get really a lot better. I fished over the weekend with my son. We didn't get a lot of bites. We had some quality fish. Had one break me off Saturday and lost a couple or more. No excuse for it, just the way things happen. But it's part of fishing. But I think we ended up 12th, and it was a good trip. Good weekend. The weather was with east wind, and a lot of the really good fishermen that was on a good jig bite. I caught most of mine on the jig, but
right.
Most of the people that were fishing really, really shallow I don't think did as well as they normally do. The Reynolds boys, they did well both days, but I know some other people that really was counting on that real shallow water jig butter end docks and whatever in the pockets, and it worked during the week, but it changed when that wind turned to the east.
Yep.
Fronts came through. The striper fishing, and one other thing about the bass didn't do much on top, at least not for us. I've tried early a couple of places where I normally can get bit. Wasn't going on there, so we caught most of our fish, fairly deep. I'd say anywhere from 6 to 25 foot deep. And I think a lot of even the people that won, I don't know exactly what they did, but I think they were fishing deep also. A lot of drop shot fish, a lot of jig fish, big worms. We caught some on a big worm over the weekend too. But I look for things to really get better here. This water temperature needs to come down a little bit more. We've got colored water up both rivers now and in the big creeks, and should help, people throwing crankbaits and spinnerbaits. And I look for a really good fall bite here. The stripers have turned on. They've started to break some early and late in the morning, late afternoon. But I'm still catching them jigging also down 30 to 60 foot deep. So calling that every day I've been lately. So look for that to get better also. And then people like the crappie fish. The crappie started to bite too. They're anywhere from 10 to 15 foot deep, mostly brush piles and the deeper dock poles up in the creeks. But like I said, things are getting ready to break loose here. The water temperature's getting down to a really good temperature for the fish to get really active, and I think you'll see the weights increase, especially this weekend. I think several tournaments going on.
Yeah, I looked. We are supposed to have some cool nights coming up. This morning, I believe it was early low 50s, 70s during the day. So yes, you are right. The water temperature is going to start cooling down, and thank goodness for that.
Yeah, and I'm glad. I think we're going to miss most of the big hurricane, hopefully.
Yes.
We'll probably get some wind off of it, and I think Sunday's supposed to be really windy, but it's a combination of some fronts going through and that hurricane combined. So it's going to be 2 different days fishing again. Saturday and Sunday's always different here at Smith Mountain. Sunday seems to be the toughest day always. Don't know why, but it's got something to do with the way they pump the water back and forth. That's a mystery to a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, the past weekend we saw, like you were saying, Ben and Brandon had 17 on day 1 and 9 on day 2. And the Ross guys, I think they had 15 day 1 and 17 on day 2, and they end up winning. But everyone that did fish told me that they caught 5 fish, might have called once, maybe twice, and that was about it. I mean, it was no, you got the bite and you better reel them in, or that was it. So,
yeah, that's what happened to me. I got 5 bites Saturday. We had 4 fish that weighed right at 13 pounds, and I had one that actually I knew I was going to get a bite there. I always do. It was a big rock, about 6 foot of water, and he got me around the rock and broke my line. He's a really good fish. Then I had about, I had 6 bites on Sunday, and we landed 4 of those. So we did have 4 fish each day, and it really made a difference. I mean, I just couldn't believe we couldn't get that extra fish each day, and had our chances. But that's the way it goes. That's why they call it fishing.
So what have you been noticing in the stripers? I mean, what are we looking like size? Well,
there's been some quality fish caught. Even this morning, a friend of mine caught a 38 and a 39-inch one, and I've heard of a couple of in the 20-pound range being caught. Not a lot of numbers of 20s,
right?
But they seem to be doing well, and we have a good population, and they're all over the lake right now. They're from the dam all the way up to above the Linville Creek area on the Roanoke side, and the Blackwater side. They're all the way up to the 4-H Center. So they're scattered out everywhere. So if you get on the school, it'd be the right place at the right time. You'll do well right now.
Awesome.
And finding them is the key to it.
Okay.
They don't always cooperate. And again, that east wind affects these stripers too. I noticed every day that wind blows out of the east very much at all 5, 8 miles an hour. It definitely has a bearing on, especially when they surface.
Right. Well, Dale, man, we always appreciate you coming on, talking with us, and giving us a look at Smith Mountain Lake. Tell everyone out there how you can be reached, man.
I have a website, CaptainDaleWilson.com, or you can reach me on my cell phone. It's the best way. The number's 540-874-4950. So give me a holler if I can help you out.
Dale, you are the #1 hit each and every month on the Basscast, and we appreciate all you do. We appreciate the lake reports that you send us each and every month. We extremely do. So thank you for everything you do and everything you do for bass fishing in Central Virginia.
Thank you.
Got out of town on a boat going to Southern Islands, sailing to reach before a following sea. She was making for the trades on the outside and the downhill run to Papeete. Off the wind on this heading line, the Marquesas. You got 80 feet of a water line, nicely making way. In a noisy bar in Avalon, I tried to call you, but on a midnight watch I realized why twice you ran away. Think about how many times I had fallen. Spirits are using me, Lord, your voice is calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I have been around the world, looking for that woman girl who knows love can endure, and you know it will. When you see the Southern Cross for the first time, you understand now why you came this way. 'Cause the truth you might be running from is so small, but it's as big as the promise of a coming day. So I'm sailing for tomorrow, my dreams are a-dying, and my love is an anchor tied to you, tied with a silver chain. I have my ship and all her flags are a-flying. She is all that I have left, and music is her name. Think about how many times I have fallen. Spirits are using me, Lord, your voice is calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I've been around the world. I have been around the tested, and we never failed to fail. It was the easiest thing to do. You will survive being bested. Somebody fine will come along, make me forget about loving you. In the Southern Cross.
Hey guys, we are back here, basscast.com. We have with us tonight Mr. Tim Harmon. He is the tournament director for a brand new tournament trail starting October the 16th, 2016. It's the Quest Solo Qualifier. It's on Lake Murray, South Carolina. What's going on, Tim, man? How you doing today?
Pretty good. How y'all doing? I appreciate you having me on.
Oh yeah, definitely. When we saw when we received the flyer and the information, we were happy to take a look at it and happy to share it with all the Basscast followers. So we appreciate it, and we're glad for people to actually be looking at a small little site that got started 6 years ago out of a one-bedroom apartment. So thank you. So, Tim, Quest, how'd the name come about?
This Quest was, it took us about a week or so to kind of figure out the name. We threw a lot of things out there, but our whole vision is to have a new tournament trail or new tournament events that's, targeting the younger guys in the industry, and it's kind of like their quest to become professionals at a very high level. So our whole vision is to give them a platform to compete on, but most importantly to gain exposure for their sponsors and build their own brand themselves.
All right, so you are located, like me and you have spoken in the past, on Lake Murray, South Carolina. What's the ultimate goal with Quest?
Quest, our ultimate goal, again, is to give it a new platform to any angler that's fished a Costa or a Bass Open full schedule.
Right.
Gives them a platform to come fish. October 21st to 23rd is our Quest Pro Challenge. First day, it's a mix. The whole event is a mix between a Major League Fishing style event and the old mega boats that Bass used to have. The first day, it's only 30 anglers. We actually roll a bingo roller that morning. They know it's on Lake Murray, but they actually have no idea if we're way up the river or down by the lake, down by the dam.
Right.
So we actually roll a bingo roller, and we got the area broke down to 5 areas. And once the bingo roller is rolled, which area we'll go to it. We'll fish about 7-8 hours. We have a bunch of breaks in between where we can actually take a lot of videos, do a lot of Facebook Live, Periscope Live, things like that. And it'll be all over social media. That's our goal, is to have that platform, a true social media platform for an event where you can watch a lot of live updates and not have to wait a couple of months to see who won, or have to go to a weigh-in to see who won. It's fish conservation,
right.
And they weigh on the boat and they throw them back. But that's the first two. The second day, they actually cut down to 10, and then that's when the old mega boat style whole course comes into play. You got 5 holes with 10 anglers, so a lot of strategy has to be involved of what hole you pick first, and what's the odds of the next guy picking to go to be in your hole also. So it's a lot of strategy's got to be involved, and for about 3 periods, I think they fish about an hour and 45 minutes apiece. They'll actually rotate for the first 2 periods, and after the first 3, then the top 5 will move on to the last 2 periods and continue the rotation in the whole course.
Wow.
And then on Sunday, the 23rd, that morning, same thing on first and second day, Friday and Saturday. Whatever the weights are is catch whatever you can. Total weight combined is the winner, and the Quest tournament itself will be done Saturday afternoon. We'll have Facebook Live or social media live, award ceremony, just things like that, and then Sunday morning actually we're going to pair these pros. They're going to stay an extra day, and we're going to pair all these pros with the first responders in the Midlands. And they'll fish about a half-a-day tournament for big bass and as a team, and they'll bring actually their big fish back to the stage. And we have a concert festival. The gates open at 2 at the Lexington County Ballpark, where the Blowfish play, a minor league ballpark. At around 2 o'clock, we'll have them on stage and do a small question and answering with the first responders and the pros, and weigh their big fish. So it's essentially 2 events in one.
That's
and
awesome.
It gives a lot of exposure for the anglers. Also gives back to the community. And then that afternoon, about 4 o'clock, we have Low Cash, Granger Smith, and a few other people that's going to have a concert for us.
Cool.
And during the festival and stuff. And that's probably the gist of what we're doing. And what we have done also was the weekend before, Sunday before the 16th, is called a solo qualifier. And what that does is it gives any local guy, any local BFL, TBS angler, to have an opportunity to fish against these pros the following weekend. It's a solo event. It's a boater only, $100. It's very cheap. And what it does is it gets you in a tournament, and it's a regular 5 fish, limit. Heavy bag, 5 fish heavy bag limit. They end about 3:30. And the top 2 finishers out of that event actually move on the following weekend to the big Quest Pro Challenge event that we have it. So we have 28 invited pros and then 2 local fishermen that's actually qualified to get into this event. And their entry fees are actually paid into this event. So, they win a great opportunity and a great chance of, getting opportunity to fish for, $30,000 plus pot, that the pros are. So you get an opportunity to fish this pro that you're going to have to spend hundreds, thousands of dollars to have that opportunity.
Right.
Plus, these young guys, these locals, they'll be in the midst of all the social media hoopla also, so it's gonna, it's gonna be a new cool thing for them too, get
All right.
involved.
Well, I was sitting here reading on your website, the Quest Pro Challenge solo qualifier. That's the first event for the local guys. It's a $100 entry fee, men. And I see you're paying one for every 5 places, one place for every 5 boats, correct?
Yes.
And how much is the payback?
Payback is it's with all our prizes and stuff. It's right at 100%, if not over.
Okay.
We have a ton of door prizes, and it's a lot of companies has jumped on board with this whole event because they see our vision, they see where we're headed in the future, and they just want to be part of it at the beginning, which is great. The response we've had from everybody, it's been really unbelievable.
All right, so after I fish the qualifier, how many people are you taking from the qualifier to the next week's event?
It's only 2. First
only
2
2
finishers. They get entry fee paid. Yep.
All right, so you win
28 invited pros.
Okay, 28. I've seen some of the pros, and you guys make sure you go check out their Facebook page, please. And you can tell them it's Quest.
It's Quest Pro Challenge, at Quest Pro Challenge.
Yep. So go check out their Facebook page. And on the Facebook page, he's been showing some of the elite anglers that are going to be there, as well as FLW anglers. So you guys go check them out. So you're only taking the top 2 from there. Now, the following week's event, how much does it cost to enter that?
The pros is $1,000 entry fee.
$1,000 entry fee. Okay.
Yep, for the pros. Yep.
All right, and now this is to fish the following week's event, correct? For anybody that fishes, for the pros that fish the following week's event, the people that fish the BFLs, and the major events like that you're speaking of. Go ahead.
Yeah, on the 16th is the locals BFL type angler. Top two on that 16th event move on to the event that's from 21st through 23rd.
Well, cool. So there is an opportunity for two lucky gentlemen anywhere within the listening of our voice right now to have a chance to win a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. And get the exposure. You know, you don't have to go and pay a ton of money to fish this huge tournament with 200 boats in it to get exposure, you know. And the beauty about this whole format on the Pro Channel side is each angler, all 30 anglers, will get the same amount of exposure no matter what.
Right.
You know, we're going to probably release close to 60 videos after this event. Every boat has a action camera in it, and we're going to have eventually, we'll continue to put out tip videos and
wow,
all kind of stuff.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to be a part of this. This is pretty freaking cool. Really cool.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all helping us out for sure.
So it's $1,000 for the following week's event. Now that gets paid out how?
It's top six places.
Okay.
Yeah.
So still 1 to 5 payout.
Yeah, still 1 to 5.
At what places? Is it at 100? Is that at 100% as well, or is it at a 85, 90?
100% payback.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow, 100% payback, guys.
100%. Yep.
That is awesome. Yep.
That's our goal. That's moving forward. We're trying to schedule 3 or 4 of these big events, and our whole goal was as a professional angler to actually show up and make money instead of having to gamble away all their sponsor money and anything or their personal money, just to play the game. That's just the way we got it laid out. And it's a format that's small, so we can guarantee coverage for them. We can help build their brand, help promote their sponsors. That's just our vision, and we got a lot of work to do, but we are very excited about it.
Yeah, this is the inaugural event, correct? This is the first time you guys ever done this, right?
Yes. As far as a national level, yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. I've myself has put on a lot of fundraising tournaments. Even at an early age, I was doing fundraisers at 17 for families that's lost somebody, cancer or heart disease.
Right.
But as far as a national level, and that was 25 years ago or 20 years ago, it seems like. It's just the first one. But we have I own a tackle company, a small business, and my partner Brad Burdett, he's a U.S. distributor for Synthetic Reels. So we together we formed and came up with this, and we have a lot of connections in the industry, and that's helping us grow our own businesses. And just seeing what the industry is now on the tournament fishing side, we just felt there was a need for something different, something to give the anglers more opportunities to promote their sponsors that they go out and beg money for, and so that's our goal, that's our vision.
Cool.
But it's it's so hard to explain or send a PDF to an angler or just really anybody. Even the press release we sent out to you. It's real hard to understand what our goal is and our vision without talking to me. And I've learned that is I make contact with an angler and they're like, yeah, sure, and they look at it and they don't really grasp what this whole thing is about until they get on the phone with me and I explain to them their reasonings that we're doing this. And so, yeah, it's been great hearing the comments back from them of being very appreciative and being appreciative of being a part of it, being asked to be a part of it,
right?
And really buying into the whole concept. And to me, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take anglers to to buy into the whole concept, to understand our 3 to 4 year plan, and that's 3 or 4 years with some right people getting involved. Then we can have a concert, we can have events regionally. And you show up and get paid cash, get paid money, and not having to spend 8 days on the water practicing and then tournament and spending 8 days worth of gas, or having to drive halfway across the country. And, you can go and fish a couple events, and then go to where you get to go spend quality time with your sponsors that shows a lot more. It becomes a job. That's where it should be. They should be paying you a salary, but I mean, when you're having to spend all that to fish events, it's not really a salary.
Right.
They're just giving you money to go play with, and hoping you cash enough money to make it back home. And that's a problem, and that's a problem that the whole industry needs to come together and try to change, and hopefully we can do that.
Now you said the first 30 get to fish in the final event. How is the 30 being picked?
It's mainly, we basically had to, just do some blind casting, as I always say. You contact as many people as you can to get the word out.
Okay.
With us partnering with iHeart, we really didn't have a goal on the whole event as far as concert and the whole concept until July, the week of ICAST, actually. So we made a lot of contacts with ICAST. We affirmed some guys that already knew about it. We had a committee of anglers that was a part of helping with a little bit of rules and the concept in general.
Right.
And but it didn't take long. It was one angler tell another angler, and once I get on the phone with them, it's a game changer. They really want to be involved.
Right.
But it's I wanted to have a healthy list, because I didn't want to go 90% elites and then 10 of tour guys.
Right.
I wanted to have, and where we are right now is it's probably going to be split quarterly between all 4 divisions, organizations, the way it looks. And again, this is for the young guy. Keep that in mind. This is not for.
Yeah.
Of course, we would love to have KVD there and people like that. But this is it's a platform for the young angler. I mean, we have some elite guys, we have some tour guys, and they are all young guys. And we do have some older guys like Rick Morse. He's coming from Virginia. He's been in the industry for 23 years. And he's trying to build his career back up and get back on tour or get back on the elites. And he sees where we're going and what we're trying to do, and he's going to use us to to help promote, and that's what we're here for. Ryan David's another one. From West Virginia. We haven't announced him yet. We're going to probably announce him Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
And he's another one. He took the year off on the tour because he had a child, and he's going to be fired back up, ready to go back for 2017 on the tour. So it gives it's there to help jumpstart a career. It's here to help prepare a career, or repair a career.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about. And we're there to help. That's the whole concept. So.
Well, tell some of the guys out there who are some of the elite anglers that you have. I've seen a couple of them online, but go ahead and tell.
Yeah, we got Shane Lineberger. We have Marty Robinson. We have Brett Pruitt from Louisiana. We have Jake Brainerd, I think, is coming. We haven't confirmed him yet. And then, of course, John Hunter. John Hunter was also coming, too.
Okay.
So that's on the elite side. And we got 1 or 2 more that's still talking to us. The problem is when when you announce something like this in July, August, a lot of these guys that are on the road, pretty much every weekend, they have a ton of, sponsor obligation they have to
Oh,
go
yeah.
through. And that was the biggest thing. I have a list of about 45, 50 almost that want to come. They're dying to come, but they already have obligations with sponsors. So us moving forward, we need to be, very strategic about, where we can have the next ones in different regions to hit all 4 divisions, perfect in timing, and also have, timing right for artists to be there, things like that. So, we're going after this event in October. We're going to spend the next week or so nailing down, venues, nailing down artists, nailing down dates, so we can get to these guys before they start filling up again, with sponsor obligations.
Awesome.
I have a feeling, we're not going to have an issue with anglers wanting to come. It's going to be an issue of not having enough spots for people.
Right.
And if nobody had anything to do, this weekend with sponsor obligations, I'd be so upset I had to turn down so many people. But we got some, we got some really good names. Very proud of that. The guy Gallard coming. We have Brian Smith coming. He's on fire lately. So, Brandon Cobb's another one. Jamie Rampy. I can go on and on. With tour level guys too. Then we got some really good coast and open guys that's been on the tours for a long time, trying to make a name for themselves. And that, to me, that's the fun part for me. Having these younger anglers that's trying to break the ice and to do bigger stuff. Sean Ski's another one.
Right.
It's his second year or his 4th year fishing the coastas and his second making the championship. And it's seeing anglers grow in the Facebook and the Instagram side of the game. That's fun. That's fun to me. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to help them. We're going to make them, help them understand how important that side of the whole industry is, and be there to help them any way we can.
Awesome. Well, tell everyone out there how you can be reached if they'd like to receive more information.
Yeah, the best way is to go to the website. It's www.questprochallenge.com. It has all the information, everything from the solo challenge, solo qualifier, all the way to the pro challenge. And also has the information for the Die Heart concert. If you live close by, come. It's free. We have a big festival. It's going to be just a blast. We're going to have a really good time out there. So just check it out and come join us. We're going to have fun.
Guys, make sure you got your batteries all charged up that weekend. Since you heard what he said, is they're going to do a lot of live broadcast on Facebook Live, which I think is really cool. So make sure you got your cell phones charged up. Make sure you definitely go like their Facebook page, Quest Pro Challenge. Have that bookmarked so when they go live, you'll be able to see it right there on your cell phone. So, I mean, technology's come a long way, people.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have we'll have our live leaderboard also on the Facebook and Twitter accounts. We'll probably update every 30 minutes of that for both days. So you can follow along live, plus you can watch us, with the live feeds that we're able to do.
Well, cool. That is awesome, man. Well, good luck with your event. We look forward to talking to you after the event, and we definitely will, because I want to get some feedback and thoughts and opinions, and a look at where we're going to go with this, where you are going to go with this thing in the future. But man, we definitely appreciate talking to you, Tim, and we're here for you if you need us.
All right, I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.
Yes, sir. right, guys, we are back. We had a little change in plans. We have Mr. Brad Knight on with us, man. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
We are doing awesome, and you are as well, because you just left the home of the Dallas Cowboys, and hey, that is awesome.
Yeah,
Wow. We're sorry he couldn't land.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, that you just left the home of the Dallas Cowboys, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a great time. That was our first trip to Jerry's World down here, and it's quite an impressive facility.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Just sorry you couldn't land the good tickets at the Redskins.
Yeah. You know, I'm not a huge pro football fan, but the Vols played at Texas A&M yesterday, and before we headed home, we decided to catch a football game at the Cowboys Stadium on the way home.
One day I will be there. It's going to be a lot of quarters saved, but one day I'll be there. All right, so
Yeah, it's worth
2016 has wrapped up, guys. It's in the books, FLW. Looking back at 2016, what do you think? You had a good year. It was probably not one of your better years, but you did had a good year. What would you have done differently? What would you have changed? If there's one tournament that you would like to go back and refish again?
You know, I probably wouldn't change a whole lot. It's all about execution.
Yep.
If I could change one tournament, I would like to go back and probably redo Toho on the Bass Open. And I was leading after the first day, and I really had some good chances to win that tournament, and just got to get them over the side. And in our business, the definition of a successful year and an unsuccessful year is just 2 or 3 bites. And that was probably the one I'd like to have over again. But, you know, we had the cup already made from winning it in 2015.
Yeah.
And just tried to really do best we could on taking advantage of having that, you know, already qualified. And just tried to fish as hard as we could and try to win. We took a lot of chances and probably gambled in situations that I normally wouldn't, but points weren't any time an option, so it was all about trying to win tournaments.
You know, fishing's all about learning, and if we don't learn anything, then you know, I think it's all about learning. But what would be something that you could take away from season that you learned new in 2016?
You know, just probably just dealing with time management a little more. We've got a lot more on our plate than we've had in the years past, and probably going into the season for next year, having a greater anticipation of knowing what to do whenever we're having as much on scheduled as we do, and
right,
things on our plate. That would probably be the biggest learning experience that we've had.
Now, you guys know Brad travels with his whole entire family in a camper, fishing tournaments all up and down it, everywhere. And I know it's got to be sometimes difficult, sometimes great, but do you think you're fishing too many tournaments, or do you think that, you know, you're putting more on your plate than you need to, and it's not giving you the time to concentrate on the main tournaments? Or do you think everything, you know, you're talking about time management. I know you're talking about on the lake as well, but off from the lake. Does you think that might have had any effect?
You know, I'd like to say that it didn't, but in realistic terms, I'm sure that it had one. We just had so many new things that we were dealing with, and being gone, and had a lot more tournaments than we normally fish. In a perfect world, I would probably like to qualify for the elites and be able to fish both the elites and the FLW tour, and not fish any of the opens or the Costa events. But you know, that's not anything that's going to be a viable option moving forward. It doesn't look like. So
right.
I will, you know, in our business, if we're not fishing tournaments,
yep,
you know, it's just, that's how we make a living. So, you know, the more you're in, the more you have a chance to win. And But I don't anticipate a change this coming year. As a matter of fact, I think we're actually going to be a little busier next year than we were this year, if that's possible. But
oh wow!
so we left home January 1st, and I was only by the time we got home in August, I'd only spent 24 nights in my own bed at home. So we were definitely gone a lot. But traveling in the camper that we do and the lifestyle we have, it makes it a lot easier. But this is the last year before my daughter starts school, and I think this will probably be the last year that I probably keep that hectic pace up.
So what's 2017 looking like for Brad Knight?
Well, we've had an addition to the tour level with the Gunnersville event that was added. So that's going to get us 7 regular season events there, plus Cup. Make it again. Some of the Costa event. Want to fish at least one division of the Bass Opens. So we're going to have a pretty busy season tournament-wise. Then you throw in promotional appearances, a classic appearance, ICAST appearance, and there's several weeks there where we're going to be gone for a month, 6 weeks at a time. So I love to travel and get to see all the places and fish all the different lakes, but at the same time, that's one of the biggest disadvantages of the job as well, just being gone so much. But I've worked really hard over the years to develop as good of a system for that as you can have, and with the camper and the program we go there, I feel like that's the best way to go.
That's true. Yeah, you are right. You're probably a very lucky angler. I know some of the older elites have their own campers and all that stuff, but the young boys, well, I don't know how they do it. Sleep out of their trucks. They team up, get rooms together. So yeah, you're very blessed to be able to have that. So, and I know that makes it easier on you. I know that makes it easier on you fishing tournaments as well, knowing you're going to get a hot meal and you don't have to go to McDonald's or some fast food restaurant or eat some crappy food like the rest of them.
Oh, absolutely. We are able to pack our clothes up in the wintertime and whenever we start the season traveling. And I'll have all my summertime stuff, wintertime. It all just stays in my camper all the time. So I'm not having to worry about if I forgot something. All my tackle stays in there, all my spare stuff. So I have all that in the boat or in the camper with me. And my wife works really hard on keeping all the scheduling and doing a lot of the day-to-day business stuff and cooking and cleaning and laundry. I don't have to worry about any of that. I can just focus on my job at catching fish. That helps a tremendous amount.
Cool. All right. So I'm very goal-oriented, and I believe you are yourself. What's your goal for 2017?
We want to make the Cup again. That's obviously the goal. Make the many top tens and just compete to win tournaments. At the end of the year, if you've got one or two times you've legitimately given yourself a strong chance to win, and that's not a bad year. But I don't set any immediate goals as far as like I have to win 2 tournaments a year to deem it successful.
Right.
Any of that. I just at the end of the day, I go out, I work as hard as I possibly can. I try to do the right thing, and then just let the chips fall where they may. If it's again, it gets back into just trying to execute and fish as clean as you can, and our season will come down to having a good year if you get 1 or 2 of those bites in, versus losing them or they jump off or they jump off the net or something bad happens there. So it's kind of crazy once you've had a few successful seasons and
yes.
then ones that don't go so well. At just how fine the line is, it's pretty maddening actually.
Now techniques or anything of that nature that you'd like to improve on for 2017?
Nothing really jumps out at me with our schedule. It's all going to be a fairly shallow water deal.
Mm-hmm.
It looks to me like there's not going to be too many deep events, which is fine. I don't get too worked up on what the schedule is going to be or any of that stuff because I can't control it.
No.
I just go out and fish to the best of my ability at each event, but I like fishing structured lakes and structured events, Tennessee River style. So I kind of hate that we're not having any tour events there in the summer months. We're going to Gunnersville in February, but a couple of things that are exciting for me is Lake Chickamauga. We have a Bass Open and a Costa Series that are happening on out of Dayton and Chickamauga, which is about 45 minutes from my house. So I always enjoy getting to fish there.
Yeah, the next question was going to be what lake do you think is going to be your strong point for 2017, and you answered that. So,
well, you never know, and that's kind of the thing. Looking back, some of the times that you're the most forward looking to a tournament are the ones you don't do as well in, and the ones you have the best events just kind of sneak up on you,
right?
And just kind of come out of nowhere. So I kind of just keep it on an even keel and not get too too zeroed in on one event versus the other, and just day-to-day situation.
Awesome. Bruce, do you have any questions for Brad?
Yeah, what's the one stop that you really aren't really looking forward to going to this year?
I don't have anyone that I really don't. I try to keep the negative stuff out and not really try to get any preconceived notions, good or bad. I just, again, gets back into just going out and focusing on your daily task and doing your job each and every day to get a little bit better each and every day. I hope it happens.
Awesome. Well, Brad, man, me and Bruce both appreciate you coming on talking to us tonight. We know this is quick right here. We threw you in at the last minute, but thank you. And it's been great following you in 2016. We definitely want to catch back up with you after the first of the year, and we'll look at 2017 a little bit closer, and maybe has a few more podcasts together, and we definitely appreciate it. I know. I don't know.
And get with you after you win.
Yes. I know.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
I know a lot of people out there got any new products coming out. Do you have anything with your name coming out on it in 2017?
I don't have any signature stuff coming out for 2017. We're taking a look at some of that maybe for the future, but
okay.
Strike King's got a couple of new baits that are coming out that are going to be really good. Lou's has got a new rod and reel lineup that we're really looking forward to, the Custom Pro, and that's going to be some really, really innovative stuff from each company. But more of that, it's just more of the same pretty much from everybody else. It's nothing too exciting and too new, but represent great companies and just looking forward to keeping it going and keeping yourself out there. And that's about all you can ask for in this industry, just being as consistent as possible.
Yes, it is. Well, plug your sponsors and let us tell everybody out there who you're sponsored by and where you can be found on the internet, man, so people can go follow you.
Yeah, check out all our social media stuff. Brad Knight Fishing. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all the major social media networks. I couldn't do it without all my sponsors. Our title deal with Rigid Industries, LED Lighting, Lou's Fishing, Strike King Lures, Hook Performance Fishing Gear, ARE Truck Caps, Gamma Fishing Line. Yeah, it's just I feel like I've backed myself with the best companies in the industry, and without that, I wouldn't be able to do what I do and not have any issues. I don't have, I run a Phoenix bass boat. I don't have to worry about my gear not performing or my boat, failing. I don't have any issues there whatsoever. And that just allows me to go out and perform at my maximum ability because I don't have to worry about any issues there mechanically or with any gear failures. And that means so much whenever we go out in all the extreme conditions that we do.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
Almost definitely.
I switched to Lou's rods and reels this past year myself. I updated all of them, and I'm glad I did. So,
awesome.
Well, Brad, thank you for
coming. And they do a great job.
Oh, yeah, they do. Well, Brad, thank you for coming on with us. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll be talking to you soon.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir.
All right.
took down a photograph of our wedding day, ripped it down the middle and threw my half away. And I got nobody to blame but me. I got nobody to blame but me. She broke all my fishing rods, put my guns in hard, threw my clothes out in the yard and changed out all the locks. And I got nobody to blame but me. I got nobody to blame but me. I know right away I went wrong. I know just what got her gone. Turned my life into this country song, and I got nobody to blame but me. I got nobody to blame but me. She fired up my old hot rod, ran it in the pond, put sugar in my John Deere. I can't even mow my lawn, and I got nobody to blame but me. I got nobody to blame but me. She built her bonfire with my old six string, took all my good whiskey and poured it down the drain, and I got nobody to blame but me. I got nobody to blame but me. I know right away I went wrong. I know just what got her gone. Turned my life into this country song, and I got nobody to blame but me. I got nobody to blame but me. Nobody to blame but me. I got nobody to blame but me.
Alright guys, we are back. We are sorry for the music delay, but Mr. Bill Lowen was quite busy tonight. And we have him, so thank you.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, we definitely appreciate you being on, and like I said, apologize. We ended up playing a couple songs, but just letting everybody know right now, due to time delay, and we had Brad Knight on. That was a call-in we weren't expecting, but we're glad to have him on as well. And we will do the Chase Tanner another night, and we'll get that on probably in the next day or two, so you guys can listen to that. It's great. I'm talking about his big Barbie event that he has coming up on the James River called the Barbie River Rumble. So we'll have that up. But Bill, tell us all about your day, man. Bill said it's been a long day. Let's see what the life of an angler is all about.
Well, I think a lot of people think we just get to run around and go fishing all the time, and sometimes that's kind of true. More down in Sevierville, Tennessee, right now for the Pittman Creek Tackle Show, and we spent the day out on the water with reps and buyers and things like that, kind of helping out with the tackle show. And so we spent the whole day on the water doing that, and just kind of got in, got some dinner, and jumped on the phone with you guys. So, yeah, we've been up since about 4 going, and we got to get up about 5 in the morning to get back to the show. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple days.
Wow. That's crazy.
Well,
All right.
it's just part of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, guys, Bill's got a whole shirt decorated, and all them people want 30 to 45 minutes of his time. And I know how that goes.
Yeah, it can get kind of crazy sometimes, but I kind of look at it like this. You cannot have anybody wanting you to come do something, so I never take it for granted. You know what I mean? I'm truly blessed to be with the people that I'm with, and I do everything I can do to, try to keep them happy, and when they tell me to be somewhere, I'm the first one there.
Awesome. Congratulations goes to you. You eclipsed the $1 million mark this past year, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep. So that's a feat in its own. I mean, man, a lot of anglers never reach that. We were looking at your stats. Me and Bruce were talking about it earlier. You've competed in 116. Now, this is just Bassmaster. I know you've probably made other money in other events. You've competed in 116 Bassmaster events, and then you've been in the money 81 times. That's
right.
That's pretty You are the most consistent man that I know right now on the Bassmaster Tournament Trail.
That's what they say, and I kind of pride myself on being so consistent. But I mean, I guess it's just kind of overwhelming. When you start looking at the statistics and the numbers and things like that, and it's like, I don't know how to explain it. I just look at myself as just one of the other fishermen. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, you start talking the numbers, and it's like, wow, that's awesome. But I guess I don't ever feel like that's. I don't know how to explain it. It's just kind of one of them weird deals. You know what I mean?
I understand. Definitely understand. It's like almost like a NASCAR driver finishes in 5th place about every freaking week. They can't get the victory, but they finish in 5th place, and everybody loves them. But you're right there. So I mean, congratulations on that. And like I said, going over the $1 million mark, that's a feat in its own. I mean, a lot of people, wow, if there's thousands of anglers out there, and if some of them could go to $25,000 a year instead of going in the hole, they would just be great to have that, to be honest. So
right, absolutely,
definitely blessed.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. It's not easy. I mean, I think a lot of people don't realize how truly difficult it is to go out there and catch them all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, you watch some of the best anglers in the world zero or stub their toe or have a bad day, or one bite makes a difference between a top 10 or an 80th place finish. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just don't think a lot of guys stop and realize how truly difficult it is to catch them all the time under every condition. All over the country. And like I said, I never take it for granted. Like I said, I'm truly blessed to be doing what I'm doing, and I never, like I said, never ever take it for granted.
Going into a lot of tournaments in 2016, what do you think helped you break down the water and make the changes that you need to make to be as consistent as you were?
I'm not typically one of them guys that goes to a tournament body of water and practices it before it goes off limits and things like that. I've noticed over my career that if I do that, I get a lot of preconceived notions when I come back, 30 days later that, man,
right.
I caught him here 30 days ago, and things like that. If I typically go to a body of water, I spend most of the time driving around and looking where I think things are going to be setting up and just trying to see how the lake lays out. And I think for me, I like to be able to show up and fish the conditions that are going on at that point in time. And I think that helps me be as consistent as I am, because I'm not trying to chase history. I go there and I try to figure out what's going on at that certain time, at those conditions, and, try to figure out, establish a pattern, how to catch them. And another thing that I like to do, like I said, that I feel like makes me so consistent is when I find an area that has a lot of fish or a concentration of fish in it, I try to figure out 3 or 4 different ways how to catch fish within that area. Let's say I'm catching them on a buzzbait, okay, and I think that's the really strong pattern. Right. Then I figure out that maybe I can come in there and catch some doing that. So then I'll go and I'll try to figure out how to catch them, maybe flipping laydowns in that area, or just, I dissect the area so well and try to figure out as many different ways to catch them in that area that I can, that when I'm in that area where I know there's fish and something goes wrong, I'll have 3 or 4 other deals to try within that area. They always say that I'm the best at making something out of nothing when it comes to fishing in them little tiny areas. And I think that just comes from being raised on the Ohio River, where you had to, you had to fish everything within your sight to catch a fish. And I've just kind of carried that over into the elites. And, this goes back 11 years when I very first started on the tour. All my buddies, were like, man, how are you going to go out there and compete and do well? You've never been away from home. And I said, look, I'm just going to go fish my style, fish the way I fish, and if it doesn't work, I don't need to be there.
Right.
So it worked my first year. I qualified for the Classic.
Yes, you did.
The second year, I mixed it up, and I listened to the doc talk, and I tried to do different things that, we're going to Kentucky Lake. Oh, you got to go out on the ledges and throw a DD-22, or, you know what I mean? And I had one of the worst years of my career. And I told my wife, I said, I'll never do that again. I said, I will fish the way that I fish, try to be as consistent as I can. And, that's kind of what we've done, and that's kind of how we've got to where we're at today.
Well, looking back at 2016, your best bag was right here in our backyard. Mine and Bruce's were in Virginia, but it was on the Potomac River. Like you said, you're big. You grew up on the river. What do you think helps you break down the river so well?
Man, that's so hard to answer. You know what I mean? Like I said, I like to get in them areas and really work on, really figure out how to catch them, and we can use the Potomac River just as a prime example. That little creek where I caught 98% of my fish.
Right.
You know what I mean? Most guys would not give that the time of day. You know what I mean? And in practice, and see, I fish really fast in practice. I figure that if I can cover as much water as I can, fish really fast, with baits I feel like I can get a bite on, and I fish fast through an area and get 2 or 3 bites, I just think that in my head, once I get in there and slow down and start working on them, then I may be able to get 6 or 8 bites, And like I said, we'll just use the Potomac River event as an example. In practice, I had 3 bites in that creek, and they were all 2-pounders. And I told my wife the first day of the event, I said, I'm just going to run in there and start, and I'm going to try to catch me 10 pounds because I think 10 pounds a day would be good.
Right.
I'm like, it's kind of tough. I think that'll be great. And, I go in there and I start working on stuff and fishing, slowing down and picking on everything. And the next thing I know, we got 16 pounds or whatever we had that first day, and I was like, oops, I didn't think this was going to be as good as it is, So I think for me, it's being able to get in them areas and just dissect things and work on them and try to learn something new every day about that area. I found a pipeline in that creek on the second day of the event that I had no idea was there. I ended up catching 2 of my biggest fish of the event off that pipeline.
Wow.
So it's just getting in an area, figuring it out, trying to learn something new every day. Sometimes it works out, and sometimes it don't.
That's definitely true. Definitely true. Taken away from 2016, what would you consider? I mean, you're consistent through all of them, like you said, very consistent through all of them. But you did have one tournament that didn't go as well, I believe, as you planned. Was the event on Wheeler Lake. Looking back at that, what could you take away from the event?
Wheeler was a weird event for me. And you could sit here and make excuses all day long, but we came right from Bull Shoals.
Yep.
From that event, you know what I mean? I think we got into town at like 2:00 in the morning, and you got to be right up the next day, Monday morning, to start practicing again. And I knew on the water Monday, I'd have probably been better off to stay at the hotel and just sleep on Monday instead of going out and practicing, because I just kind of drove around with the top down all day on Monday and just didn't, you know what I mean? I could never get in that groove. I could never get focused on what was going on. And that just kind of spun me out from there on out. You know what I mean? And I had some areas that I thought I could catch them in, and it was just one of them events where if I knew I should have went left, I went right, and it just didn't work out. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's kind of goes back to one of them deals that, you got to have a little luck in this game.
Yes.
But you gotta, I'd rather be lucky than good any day. I always say that. And some days it's like I said, it just doesn't work out. I didn't catch squat the first day of that event. I think I catch 13 pounds or something the second day. And had I caught that the first day, you'd have been just fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it just goes like, it's just that one or two bites that you get that you miss or that you need to get. It's just like the event at La Crosse on the Mississippi River. Everybody expected me to do good there.
Right.
The first day, I catch 8 pounds, and I only have 4. But that day, I lose 2 4-pounders at the boat. So if I catch one of those, I'm in good shape. If I catch both of those, I'm in really good shape. So it's one of them deals. Like I said, you got to have a little luck. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it don't. So for me, I just try to keep my head screwed on straight and try not to get frustrated when things go wrong. And in the long run, I think it works out better for me. Just to stay focused and always look forward and stay positive.
Taking away from 2016, what did you learn? What would be something that you picked up?
Oh, I learn every day when I'm on the water.
Yeah.
I think, overall as a whole, as the year, it was a great year. I don't have any regrets. I probably would not have done anything different. And I think looking at the whole year as a whole, what I've learned is from this year is just do what you do, stay focused, keep grinding on them. Some things you didn't kind of hear me talking about this year. I can give a lot of credit to Denny Brower for that. You know what I mean? He told me one time that, man, you're so good, you're so consistent, you catch them so many times, but you do so much better if you would start throwing bigger jigs or bigger spinner baits or, bigger crankbaits and things like that. And you can kind of look at Denny Brower in his career. He either wins or he, does decent or he just has a train wreck. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he fishes to win every single time. And when he catches them big, So him and I were practice partners before he retired. So I learned a lot from him. And you know how it is, you can be hard-headed sometimes, and I finally just started kind of trying to do the bigger bait thing, trying to key on them bigger bites instead of just catching keeper bites. Now I just got to figure out how to get them in the boat.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys around here that fish Smith Mountain Lake that live and die by the jig. I mean, they'll make some changes, but they throw them big old jigs, and it don't matter what time of the year it is, and They say either we're gonna come in with a big huge bag or we're gonna come in with zero. But
And you know, I see guys do that with, you know, the big jigs, the big swim baits, the big,
Yep.
the big whatevers. You know what I mean? And they either catch them or they fall flat on their face. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't like falling on my face.
no,
You know? So I guess that's why it's been so hard for me to make that transition over to how do we key on big bites. You know what I
Right.
mean? So to say I'm a little bit gun shy or a little bit scared, absolutely. You know what I mean? I kind of, like I said, I kind of pride myself on being so consistent, and be able to catch them all the time. And sometimes when you got that big stuff on, it's like, man, where's my little spinnerbait, or where's my little square bill crankbait, or you know what I mean? What do I got to do to get a bite? So yeah, like I said, if I took anything away from this year, it would be definitely trying to concentrate more on getting that bigger bite or trying to figure that out. But I don't want to get to where that's going to hurt me and I start falling on my face, you know?
Right.
So trying to figure out that happy medium on how to still be consistent and how to get that big bite. And sometimes it's kind of hard.
cool. All right, we got 2017.
Kind of like
Go ahead, Bruce.
I think kind of like using what you are using now to get you a limit, and then use the big stuff and go out and cull it out.
Yeah, you know, that would kind of be the game plan. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out how to make that happen, you know?
Oh,
Well-
definitely.
Looking at 2017, we are going. I believe you guys are only going to one river. It's the St. Lawrence River, 2017. But we got a lot of lakes on here. What do you think, looking ahead, would be I guess the tournament that you're looking forward to the most for 2017?
The one I'm probably looking to at the most is Lake Dardanelle,
Okay.
which is basically the Arkansas River.
Yep.
And that body of water it's been really mean to me. You know what I mean? It's my style 110%. I have great practices there, and then when the tournament starts, for whatever reason, the wheels come off. I ain't sure if I've ever got a check there. I may have got a check in a major there one time, but that almost was a train wreck too, because the first day I had like 8 pounds, and the second day I catch like 19 or almost 20 or something right around there, and save my butt. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for whatever reason, it's like my nemesis there. You know what I mean? It's just so I'm looking forward to that one for the simple fact of it's always kicked my butt, so I'd like to kick its butt this time. But, you know, the schedule, I like the way the schedule's setting up. We're going to a lot of what I consider this fish. There should be still a ton of fish shallow. I can kind of turn my brain off and go fishing. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
I struggle the worst when there's too many options. You know what I mean?
Right.
When there's fish shallow, when there's fish deep, when there's fish, you know what I mean? When I can turn my brain off and just go fishing, that's when I do the best. And for me, that's kind of the way this schedule sets up everywhere we're going to go.
Awesome. You guys, that Lake Dardanelle event's June 2nd through the 5th. The days are getting warm that time of the year. Getting really warm, really. You think that's going to help any on being on the river, but the weather itself, or
You know, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Lake Dardanelle, but it is kind of like it's a mini Potomac River without the tide. You know what I mean? It's got grass everywhere. It's got undercut banks. It's got, you know what I mean? It's got everything that a shallow river fisherman would want. You know, we'll be right there on that window where they'll probably catch some out on the drops on the main river and stuff like that, but that body of water always has fish shallow, you know, because they're so current orientated in that place that they set up right where you know they should be. So like I said, I'm looking forward to that one probably the most out of all of them.
the vegetation should probably be pretty good about that time of the year.
Oh yeah, and like I said, it's got everything you could think of. It's got reeds, it's got cattails, it's got milfoil, it's got peppergrass, it's got hydrilla. It's got everything you need.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Here on the James, when I kayak fish, but I catch more fish in the grass than I do on the ledges and everything here. And just something about that grass bite, they're playing around in the grass right before a little bit of current, and 2, 3, 4 pounders coming right out of that area. I mean, it's doing a little shaky head.
Oh yeah, the grass fishing is so much fun because you might fish 100 or 200 yards of grass and never get a bite, and then find that little 10-yard stretch that you get a bite
boom, boom.
every other cast.
Yep.
And I think that's what I like about them styles of fisheries is when you get around them, but you got to cover a lot of water to find out where they're at or maybe where they've moved to that day. So it's really a lot of fun just knowing that any minute you could land on the mother lode and get well in 5 casts, So yeah, like I said, I think that one's going to be a good one.
Well, Bruce, do you have any questions for Mr. Bill Lowen?
I do. All right, Neville. In your article about the fall fishing, you said a buzz bait. What type of blade do you use on your buzz bait for the fall fish, and which one of the lureparts.com is the squeaker buzz bait?
Lure Parts Online, you just can't call Lure Parts Online up and say, hey, I need the buzz bait that Bill was talking about. Lure Parts Online makes basically every component that a bass fisherman would want to make buzz baits, to make spinner baits, to make jigs. So when I get my buzz baits from Lure Parts Online, I'll get the heads or the bodies, or however you want to call them. I'll get the blades, and I always tell everyone it's just kind of personal preference. I like silver and gold blades, and I'm pretty simple when it comes to color. In the fall, I like white or I like black. It's kind of like a lot of guys that frog fish. They like a white frog or they like a black frog.
Right.
And for me, on any given day, they're going to eat one of them 2 colors. You need to figure it out. Typically, for me, it's always a silver blade. Sometimes I'll mix in a gold blade if the water's got a little more stain to it. For whatever reason, for me, I just like that gold blade in the stained water. It's almost like using a gold spinnerbait blade in dirty water versus a silver blade, and I'm not 100% sure. I can't explain it. Lure Parts Online stamps their own buzzbait blades out, and whatever the consistency of their metal is in that blade to that wire, when you put it all together and crimp that rivet, it squeaks, man. It is definitely a squeaker, and you hear me talk about buzzbaits a lot, and I'm a big fan of a squeaking buzzbait versus a clacker buzzbait. And like I said, you don't have to do nothing special to that deal. Call them up, order what you want, put it together, and go fishing. It's they make it as simple as possible for a tournament fisherman to basically build whatever he can dream up or whatever he thinks is going to work across the board: spinnerbaits, buzzbaits, jigs. And for me, I always say I've always been a tinkerer. Growing up on the Ohio River, I always felt like you needed something different than everybody else was using, or at least you needed to think you had something different than everybody else was using.
Right.
It's all about confidence in this game. And when I can go to Lure Parts Online and I can get the exact skirt that I want with the exact head and put that together, does it matter to the fish? Probably not. But to me, it gives me 110% confidence that I got exactly what I want, that maybe you don't have or somebody else has. And I just fish so much better knowing that I have the 110% confidence in what I got tied on my rod. And to any angler, I don't care if you're at the grassroots level or the top tier in the elites, when you are confident with what you got tied on, you feel like you could catch one if you had your gym shoe tied on there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
If you got confidence in it, you're going to catch them on it. You know what I mean? And I tell guys that all the time. I'm like, don't worry about what the other guy's doing because it's so hard to catch somebody else's fish. Just use stuff you got confidence in, go do your deal, and I feel like in the long run you'll be better off like that.
Awesome.
Oh, definitely. Now, do you prefer 2 or 3 arms on the blade?
I'm a single arm buzzbait guy. Like I said, I'm kind of one of them guys that keep it simple as possible. You know what I mean? So I'm just a single arm buzzbait guy. And like I said, I prefer that squeaker over a clacker, typically on any given day.
And just a 2-sided blade instead of a 3.
Yes, yeah, yep, yes, sir, yep.
All right. Well, definitely. See, it's getting to be that time, and I'm ready to catch big fish. I have to have the secret there, see.
It's definitely going to be that time.
Right?
Yeah, we're coming into...
So just don't tie it to the antenna and let it get squeaky?
You're breaking up on me a little bit.
I said don't tie it on the antenna of the car to get it squeaky.
I get that question all the time, and growing up as a kid, I'd always heard that, so we always tied them on the antenna, and then when we got to where we were going, or I got to where I wanted to use it, the blades were wiped out on them. You know what I mean? So it was like, well, that was stupid. So I'm not a big fan of putting them on the antenna. If I do anything to my buzzbait blade, I may rough it up a little bit with a file or something like that to help it squeak. But like I said, when you get them components from lure parts, and like I said, it's got to be something to do with the softness of the metal or the density of the metal, whatever it is. They just squeak really, really well. And like I said, I've been using that buzzbait for a long time. Even before I was involved with lure parts online. So it's kind of nice to be going back to my roots where I got started using, using that stuff when we were ordering it and buying it years ago.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well,
Brian, that's all I have.
Bill, man, we appreciate you coming on with us tonight, and I know we've kept you up kind of late, and we apologize for that, but definitely thank you for coming on with us.
Hey, buddy, anytime. Like I said, it's part of the job, and like I said, I try to help out whenever I can, do whatever I can do, because, like I said, I never take it for granted.
Guys, I had the opportunity a couple years ago to meet Bill's wife and family and the Classic, and meet Bill himself, and it's been great knowing this gentleman, and we look forward to continuing these podcasts in 2017. I know we got away from a while because the season gets beginning of the season's all nice and calm, and then we get where it just becomes crazy. And we're not into bothering you guys because I know you're concentrating and out there trying to win some money and take care of your families, but we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us tonight and giving us a little wrap-up of 2016. Bill, this is where we usually give everyone an opportunity to tag their sponsors, and you got to tag them because without them, none of this would be possible.
You're absolutely right, and, everybody knows my sponsors, and I got great sponsors. And I've been with most of my sponsors throughout my whole career, So without a doubt, you got to give a big thanks to all of them because there's no way we can do it without them. You know what I mean? From our boats to our rods to our reels to just everything across the board. Everybody always asks, it's like, why do you use this and why do you use that? And I always tell everybody, we use the stuff that we use because for me, it's all about that confidence thing. It's all about believing in that you have the absolute best stuff that you can do to do a job and not have to worry about failures, whether it be line, rods, reels, boats, motors. and you can't do it without them. But you got to believe in what you're using and what you're promoting. And that's kind of, I look at my sponsors as my family. Without them, I couldn't do what I do. Without my family, I couldn't do what I do. So I treat every one of my sponsors. I have a great relationship with every one of them. I can call them up, talk to them as a family. You know what I mean? And that is huge, knowing that you're not with a company, that you're just a number.
That's true.
And for me, for me, like I said, I'm blessed to have the sponsors that I have. And I do everything that I can do to try to make them happy and just show them that I'm out here flying the flag. Just try to do the best job I can, because let's face it, there's 100 people waiting in line to take your job.
Oh, yeah.
I was always brought up that if you're going to do something, do it the best you can do and give it 110%. And that's what I try to do all the time.
Cool. Well, brother, we appreciate you coming on with us tonight. Appreciate you talking to us, and hopefully now you did qualify for another classic, correct?
Yes, sir.
We will get up with you right before the classic, and we'll talk to you about going to Texas. I know it's going to be quite interesting.
Yep, yeah, it's going to be interesting. We got to get through them first two events before we get there. So we're probably going to freeze to death at Cherokee in Tennessee, and then we'll go to Florida and sweat to death, and don't know what's going to happen in Texas.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for coming on with us, and we will talk to you before the 2017 Classic. And thank you for everything you do for the sport, and look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, guys.
Thank
I
you, Bill.
appreciate it. Like I said, anytime, man, I'll be glad to come back.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You too now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. If I can make a living from walking in the woods, you can bet I'd be sitting pretty good high on a hill, looking at a field downwind. If I can make a nickel off of turning in bass, never worry about the price of gas, I've been wheeling and dealing and sitting there reeling them in. Hunting, fishing, loving every day, that's the prayer that a country boy prays. Thank God he made me this way. Hunting and fishing and loving every day. Early in the morning, late in the evening, I'm getting red dirt rich and Flint River paid. Hunting, fishing, loving every day.